Like I've seen the true like I think it's Samoan is what I've seen, and like I was asking the guy, because it was weird looking. It wasn't like your typical tribal that you see here where people have like just the lines going down.
Right.
And I was asking him, and I guess it means like story. They're like
It's a
different.
story of life.
Yeah, of their life.
Their life, or their history, their family.
Okay.
There's certain things that they do at certain periods, like like when boys they get to adolescent, like a young adult age, they do a certain ceremonial tattoo, and they get married when they have their children, or they become warriors, which I don't really think applies these days. But there's different markings for different periods of life, and there's different markings for like historical stuff in the family line.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think people in America really understood that part. Unless, and I think that's the thing too. Unless you're from there,
true,
then you wouldn't know.
True. I mean, some people do understand it, and they do their research on it, and they look into it in depth, and they come up with something, or they know somebody that has studied it, and they say, I got this going on in my life, and I kind of want to, I want to mark it on my body.
Okay.
What do we do?
All right. Do you feel tattoos are more accepted today, or do you still feel a little bit like people are treating it like it's still taboo?
Oh, it's definitely more acceptable today. I still think that corporate America definitely does have they kind of look down on it. I'm sure they have, they want their people to look a certain way. I mean, you apply to be a CEO of a huge bank or something like that, and you've got stuff sticking out everywhere. They're probably not going to hire you. But I don't really think it's frowned down as much as it used to be. I think it's going to get to a point people are going to ask us, like, wow, you don't have any tattoos. Why would you not do that?
I'm still waiting to see that day.
Me too.
Why do you think we're seeing more and more athletes, musicians, and even actors? I mean, because you look on TV, like you said earlier, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it is. I mean, trends, looks cool. Athletes, intimidation factor.
Okay.
Like football players. I mean, they get some big, gaudy. I mean, tattoos on a big guy or something. I mean, it can be used as an intimidation factor. I mean, if you look back in history with the Maori from New Zealand, that's the reason why they tattooed themselves. So they were small people, and they tattooed their faces pretty much to, intimidate their enemy, whoever that they were at battle with. I mean, you see a bunch of guys flying out of the brush with stuff all over their face. You'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
And when you're on the line of scrimmage, you see this big dude, he's covered with a lot of tattoos. I mean, he looks a little more threatening than the guy next to him is the same size that doesn't have tattoos. So, I mean,
Because I just remember, like, seeing some old footage, and, like, you never saw, like, anybody in the NFL, or even basketball, too, even back then. Like, you never saw anybody with tattoos.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, you can't even watch the game without seeing somebody with at least, like, almost a full sleeve.
They just like them, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, basketball guys, they're pretty covered, a lot of them,
Yeah.
I pretty much think that might have been like Dennis Rodman that kind of busted those doors open.
See, I was gonna ask, like, there's always somebody that opens the doors.
Yeah.
Like, so in sports, you would say it would be Dennis Rodman that sort of.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one that sticks out in my head, really, because, I mean, he stuck out, period, no matter what he did.
Yeah.
He had crazy hairdos and colors and, antics, and, and he's got all these crazy tattoos all over him, and I think that he was pretty much the one that busted it open, I think, in probably all sports, really.
Okay, and how about music? Who do you think would be, the band that sort of opened the doors for that?
For that? Well, I don't really think anybody, I mean, that just kind of been going on for a long time anyways,
Yeah.
I mean, kind of music, tattoos, and, whatever other element that goes along in that genre.
Yeah.
Pretty much, but just, I mean, they've been getting tattooed for years and years and years. I mean,
so I was going to say, like,
it's not recent.
Well, yeah, I mean, the artists that I really stick out in my mind is like Ozzy and, obviously Motley Crue.
Yeah, Ozzy, definitely. I'd probably say Yeah,
Yeah.
Ozzy. You know, as you see Ozzy everywhere, and he's, you know, got no shirt on, he's got the blue face over here.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably in his knuckles. I think that was the first time I saw someone with tattooed knuckles was on Ozzy when
I
I
think
was a
so
kid.
too. I think that was with me
Yeah.
too. And then I saw Ozzy had smiley faces tattooed on his knees,
Yeah,
which I don't know. He does everything.
Ozzy's Ozzy.
Yeah.